Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Will Nick and Sienna Bacall's romance blossom while Sharon faces off against Tamara Braun's character? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, might discover romance. As autumn approaches, will Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, be outshined by Tamara Braun's new character, with no hope for a chic reunion? Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Sharon was pining away for Nick following the drama in Nice. Viewers may remember that Sharon was left yearning for Nick until he finally kissed her. After all, the peril in Nice, being in dangerous situations together do tend to bring people close. This was a significant moment for Sharon, yet Nick has been far too nonchalant about it since their return home. Even though Sharon was Nick's first love, one supposedly never gets over. It honestly appears that Nick still views Sharon as just a friend, and that old adage doesn't fit his situation at all. A brief kiss on the lips and another near kiss at the coffee shop don't really convey that Nick is falling head over heels in love again. What is this? Naturally, Nick and Sharon will always maintain a unique bond because of their children and the deep history they share. Nick and Sharon may have that bond through their children, but not necessarily a romantic bond. No one can take that away from Sharon and Nick, but she might struggle to maintain Nick's focus, particularly when a captivating and enigmatic woman arrives in town. Tamara Braun, formerly Ava Vitale and Taylor Walker on Days of Our Lives, and Carly Corinthos and Dr. Kim Nero on General Hospital, has joined the cast of Y&R. She will appear as Sienna Bacall, a new character set to debut this fall. It's never too soon to speculate about who Sienna will be romantically linked with once she arrives in Genoa City. Considering Braun's age range and Nick's current reluctance to commit to Sharon, it's possible that Sienna could develop strong feelings for the charming Newman in the future. Nick could have a fun new pairing. It could be interesting to see Nick in a new relationship, since the show seems to have moved away from focusing on Sharon and Nick. If Y&R isn't planning to give us a proper reunion for Nick and Sharon, perhaps it's time to explore other romantic options. Sharon might also find herself falling for someone new if Sienna comes in and captures Nick's heart. What is this? Regardless, Braun is set to make her autumn debut as Sienna Bacall, and will keep you posted on any developments regarding love interests that may arise. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that Nick might experience some romantic surprises ahead. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. Will Nick and Sienna Bacall's romance blossom while Sharon faces off against Tamara Braun's character? The Young and the Restless has never been shy about throwing its fan-favorite characters into unexpected emotional storms, but the coming weeks promise a mixture of romance, danger, and fierce rivalry that could reshape Genoa City's landscape for months to come. At the heart of the drama lies Nick Newman, who has found himself torn between the shadow of his past and the allure of an unexpected new romance with Sienna Bacall, a character whose entrance has already sparked intrigue, gossip, and suspicion. Fans are buzzing with the question, will Nick finally allow himself to pursue a fresh start with Sienna, or will his lingering loyalties, family ties, and personal guilt hold him back? Meanwhile, Sharon Newman, never one to remain in the background for long, is about to face off with a formidable rival played by none other than Tamara Braun. Soap fans already know that Braun's intensity guarantees fireworks, and her character's involvement in Sharon's orbit threatens to ignite one of the show's most dramatic rivalries in years. The stage is set for romance and conflict to collide in ways that could shake the core of Genoa City. Nick Newman has always been a man caught between love and responsibility. As Victor Newman's son, he carries the weight of the Newman family legacy, but his heart often leads him toward choices that clash with his father's relentless drive for control. His relationships with Sharon, Phyllis, and Chelsea have all defined him in different ways, and fans know Nick as someone who yearns for love yet fears the destruction it can cause. Enter Sienna Bacall, a mysterious newcomer whose charisma and quiet resilience have caught Nick's attention. At first, their connection seemed casual, a distraction from the heaviness of Newman family drama. But soap romances have a way of evolving quickly, and Nick is beginning to see Sienna not just as a spark of passion but as someone who might understand the scars he carries. The question is whether Nick can open his heart without repeating the painful mistakes of his past. Sienna's backstory has been hinted at but not fully revealed, and that's part of what makes her so compelling. Is she truly a woman searching for stability and love, or is she hiding an agenda that could complicate Nick's life even further? Genoa City has never been a safe haven for newcomers without secrets, and whispers around town suggest that Sienna's arrival may not be as innocent as it appears. Still, Nick seems drawn to her vulnerability, perhaps seeing in her a chance to heal the wounds left by years of romantic upheaval. Could Sienna be the one to finally give Nick the lasting love he craves, or is this yet another relationship doomed by secrets, betrayal, and Newman family meddling? While Nick and Sienna's romance simmers, Sharon Newman is entering a battle of her own. Sharon has faced rivals before, from Phyllis Summers to Chelsea Lawson, and she's never backed down when challenged. But Tamara Braun's new character introduces an unpredictable element that could put Sharon on the defensive in ways fans haven't seen before. Early spoilers hint that Braun's character is strong-willed, calculating, and determined to carve out her own place in Genoa City, even if it means clashing head-on with Sharon. The two women are destined for a confrontation that mixes personal stakes with professional battles, and Sharon's calm, measured persona may be pushed to its breaking point. Fans are already speculating whether this rivalry will center around business, romance, or a deeply personal grudge, but one thing is certain: Sharon won't stand down without a fight. The chemistry between Nick and Sharon has always been a cornerstone of The Young and the Restless, and longtime viewers can't help but wonder if Sharon's looming battle with Braun's character might indirectly affect Nick's budding relationship with Sienna. Will Sharon's protective instincts or lingering connection to Nick pull him back into her orbit, creating tension and confusion just as he begins to fall for Sienna? Or will Nick, determined to carve out a new chapter in his life, resist Sharon's gravitational pull and commit fully to Sienna? This triangle, or perhaps quadrangle, of emotions could be the perfect storm for explosive drama. Fans thrive on these entanglements, and with Braun's arrival, the stakes are higher than ever. What makes this storyline so rich is the intersection of personal history, new passion, and unpredictable conflict. Sharon has grown tremendously over the years, from battling her own demons to becoming a pillar of wisdom and compassion. She has rebuilt her life with dignity, even after devastating losses, and she has often acted as the voice of reason in Nick's chaotic world. To see her face a new rival who threatens her stability is both thrilling and nerve-wracking for fans. Braun's character may not just be an antagonist, she could be a mirror forcing Sharon to confront sides of herself she thought she had buried. Rivalries in Genoa City often evolve into grudging respect or shocking alliances, but this one feels destined to be explosive from the start. Meanwhile, Nick's involvement with Sienna could create ripple effects across the Newman family. Victor, always protective of the Newman name, may have his own opinions about Sienna, especially if she harbors secrets tied to business or family enemies. Victoria, never shy about interfering in her siblings' lives, could also take issue with Sienna's role in Nick's life. And Adam, with his usual mix of resentment and curiosity, might exploit the situation to create chaos. The Newmans have always lived in a pressure cooker of ambition and rivalry, and Nick's choice to pursue a relationship with Sienna could either unify or fracture his family further. Sienna herself remains the wild card. Her intentions are cloaked in mystery, and fans know that soap characters often come with hidden connections. Could she have ties to someone from Sharon's past, making the rivalry with Braun's character even more layered? Might she be connected to a Newman rival like the Abbotts or even a returning enemy from years ago? Every subtle glance and guarded comment from Sienna has fans dissecting her motives. Yet there is also genuine chemistry between her and Nick, making the romance feel both exciting and dangerous. Soap audiences thrive on that duality, rooting for a couple while fearing the inevitable storm that might tear them apart. Sharon's clash with Braun's character may also affect her role in Genoa City more broadly. As a respected therapist and businesswoman, Sharon has worked hard to be seen as more than just Nick's former flame or a source of family drama. This rivalry could threaten her stability, forcing her to defend not only her personal life but her professional reputation. Braun's character might challenge Sharon's influence in ways that feel deeply personal, and if Sharon loses her cool, the consequences could ripple through her relationships with Faith, Mariah, and even Ray's memory. Sharon's journey has been about resilience, and this new chapter will test her strength once again. For Nick, the blossoming romance with Sienna may offer a chance to finally move forward. But soap history tells us that moving forward is rarely simple. As Sharon battles her new rival, Nick may find himself pulled into the crossfire, torn between supporting Sharon and committing to Sienna. The tension could expose cracks in his relationship with Sienna before it has even begun, forcing him to make painful choices about where his loyalties lie. Will Nick choose the stability of a fresh start with Sienna, or will his enduring bond with Sharon draw him back into familiar territory? Fans are bracing for heartbreak, passion, and possibly betrayal as this storyline unfolds. In the end, The Young and the Restless thrives on these layered stories that weave romance, rivalry, and family drama into unforgettable television. Nick and Sienna's potential romance offers hope and excitement, but Sharon's face-off with Braun's character promises danger and fireworks. Together, these parallel arcs create a narrative that is as unpredictable as it is addictive. Whether Nick finds love with Sienna, whether Sharon triumphs over her new rival, and whether the Newman family survives the fallout intact are questions that will keep viewers glued to their screens. Genoa City is on the brink of change, and fans wouldn't have it any other way. Sharon was pining away for Nick following the drama in Nice. The Young and the Restless is no stranger to tangled romances, heartbreaking separations, and emotional reunions that leave fans both devastated and hopeful, but the aftermath of the drama in Nice has opened up a new chapter for Sharon Newman that is equal parts bittersweet and compelling. Sharon has been through countless storms in her life, struggles with mental health, broken marriages, children in crisis, and more, but her long and complex connection with Nick Newman has always remained one of the defining threads of her journey. No matter how many times they have drifted apart or been pulled into the arms of others, Sharon and Nick always seem to circle back to each other when the chaos settles. Now, as the fallout from what happened in Nice weighs heavily on both their hearts, Sharon finds herself pining for the man who has been her greatest love and her most painful heartbreak. The tension is rising, the longing is palpable, and the possibility of another romantic rebirth between Sharon and Nick has fans buzzing like never before. The saga in Nice was supposed to bring clarity, closure, or perhaps even a fresh start, but instead it left raw wounds and lingering doubts. Sharon thought she had found stability in her independence, balancing her career as a therapist with her devotion to her family, but old feelings have a way of resurfacing when emotions run high. The memories of her shared past with Nick, their early romance, their wedding, their heartbreaks, and the children they raised together, continue to haunt her as she replays every moment of their recent time together overseas. For Sharon, it isn't just about the drama that unfolded in Nice, it's about realizing that her heart has never fully let go of Nick. The ache of unfulfilled love gnaws at her, and no matter how hard she tries to bury her emotions, they rise to the surface with a force too strong to ignore. Nick, for his part, is caught between guilt and confusion. His protective instincts during the Nice ordeal reminded him why Sharon has always been the one person who knows him better than anyone else. Yet Nick is wary of revisiting old wounds. He knows the cycle they have endured, falling back into each other's arms, only to break apart when trust and circumstance crumble once more. The Newman family drama, his responsibilities as a father, and his longing for a simpler, more stable love life all weigh heavily on him. Still, even as he tries to keep his distance, Nick cannot shake the memories of Sharon's touch, her unwavering support, and the bond that has carried them through tragedies no other couple in Genoa City could survive. Their connection is undeniable, and though Nick tries to push forward, Sharon's quiet longing keeps pulling him back into her orbit. Sharon's pining isn't portrayed as weakness, it's the culmination of decades of love, loss, and self-discovery. She isn't the same young woman who once leaned too heavily on Nick's protection. She's a seasoned, strong survivor who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to admit her vulnerabilities. The drama in Nice stripped away her defenses, reminding her that love, especially the kind she shares with Nick, is messy, imperfect, but deeply real. For Sharon, pining for Nick isn't about desperation, it's about recognizing that her heart has always known its home. Her family notices her distraction, her patients sense her restlessness, and even her friends quietly whisper about whether Sharon is ready to risk everything once again to fight for the man she has never stopped loving. Of course, this emotional turmoil doesn't unfold in a vacuum. Genoa City thrives on complications, and Sharon's longing for Nick is bound to clash with the realities of his current circumstances. Other women in Nick's life, whether past loves like Phyllis or newer connections like Sienna Bacall, add tension to the equation. Sharon may find herself caught in rivalries she didn't expect, forced to stake her claim or risk losing Nick to someone else once and for all. Meanwhile, the Newman family's ever-present drama threatens to complicate any chance of reconciliation, with Victor, Victoria, and Adam all playing roles in the chaos that could either push Nick and Sharon closer together or tear them apart once again. The beauty of Sharon and Nick's storyline lies in its history. They are not just another soap couple thrown together for convenience, they are soulmates shaped by years of trials. From Cassie's tragic death to Faith's struggles, from Nick's betrayals to Sharon's illnesses, they have weathered storms that would have destroyed most couples. Fans remember the tender moments, Nick holding Sharon's hand through her darkest hours, Sharon supporting Nick when his world collapsed, the glimmers of hope that always seemed to shine brightest when they were together. It is this history that makes Sharon's pining so powerful. She isn't longing for an illusion, she's longing for a love that has proven itself time and time again, even when circumstances kept them apart. But will Nick see it the same way? The aftermath of Nice has left him shaken, and though his heart may still beat for Sharon, his fear of repeating the same mistakes could hold him back. Sharon's challenge is not just to admit her feelings but to show Nick that they can build something new, stronger, and more resilient than before. This isn't about rehashing the past, it's about creating a future that honors everything they've survived. Yet in the soap world, nothing is ever simple. Sharon's vulnerability may leave her open to heartbreak once again, and Nick's hesitation may drive her into the arms of someone else if he can't make up his mind. As the weeks unfold, fans can expect to see Sharon wrestle with her emotions, pouring her heart out to confidants like Mariah and Faith while struggling to keep her professional composure intact. Her dreams of Nick, her subtle glances, and her quiet moments of reflection will paint the picture of a woman deeply in love but fearful of rejection. Meanwhile, Nick's internal conflict will play out in his interactions with Sharon, lingering looks, unspoken words, and the undeniable electricity that sparks whenever they share a scene. Every small interaction will keep viewers on the edge of their seats, wondering if Nick will finally give in to the pull of destiny or if Sharon will be left heartbroken once again. The drama in Nice may have been the catalyst, but the true story is only just beginning. Sharon's pining sets the stage for one of the young and the restless most poignant love stories yet. It is a tale of second chances, of confronting the ghosts of the past, and of daring to believe in a love that has endured more than most could ever survive. Will Sharon's longing be rewarded with the reunion fans have been dreaming of, or will it become yet another painful chapter in her complicated history with Nick? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the journey will be filled with passion, heartbreak, and unforgettable moments that will remind viewers why Sharon and Nick remain one of the most iconic couples in Genoa City history. Nick and Sharon may have that bond through their children, but not necessarily a romantic bond. The Young and the Restless has a way of reminding fans that love stories are not always about romance, but about the deeper ties that hold people together through years of triumphs and tragedies. Few relationships exemplify this more than Nick Newman and Sharon Newman. While their romantic history is one of the most iconic in Genoa City, it is the bond they share through their children that continues to connect them, no matter how many times they try to move on with other people. Nick and Sharon may never fully rekindle their love story in the way fans once imagined, but their roles as parents ensure that their lives will forever be intertwined. This unique connection is just as powerful as any grand romance, perhaps even more enduring. From the moment Nick and Sharon came together as high school sweethearts, their story captivated fans. Their marriage, their tragedies, and their moments of bliss built the foundation of one of the most celebrated couples in soap opera history. But even as the years brought affairs, divorces, and bitter conflicts, one thing remained constant: their shared devotion to their children. The death of Cassie Newman marked a turning point, not only in their relationship but in the very fabric of the young and the restless. That tragedy shattered their marriage but also bound them together in grief in a way no other couple could understand. It was a reminder that no matter how far apart they drifted, they would always share a bond through the children they brought into the world and the memories of the one they lost. Faith Newman became the living bridge that kept Nick and Sharon connected after Cassie's death. Both parents were determined to protect Faith from the same kind of heartbreak that had devastated them years earlier, and that shared goal has often brought them back into each other's orbit. Whenever Faith faced challenges, whether it was her rebellious streak, her struggles with illness, or the burden of living up to the Newman name, Nick and Sharon stood side by side. Even when they weren't together romantically, their co-parenting dynamic highlighted the respect and affection they still held for one another. This has been a theme for decades. Nick and Sharon may argue, may love other people, and may drift into separate lives, but when it comes to their children, they are always a united front. The irony is that this unity often sparks rumors and speculation about a romantic reunion. Fans who have loved Nick and Sharon since their early days can't help but hope that their bond through family could translate into a rekindled romance. Their lingering chemistry is undeniable: the way Nick looks at Sharon in moments of vulnerability, the way Sharon softens around Nick when they discuss their family, and the countless times they've fallen back into each other's arms suggest that the spark has never fully gone out. Yet reality has shown that romance is not always the natural extension of parenthood. Sometimes, the most enduring love between two people is the platonic, unbreakable love of shared family. For Sharon, the question of Nick has always lingered in her heart, but her journey has taken her through so many phases of growth that she has learned to see him less as her romantic destiny and more as her partner in parenthood. She has built a life defined not only by love interests but also by resilience, independence, and her ability to face challenges head-on. While she has stumbled, she has also risen, proving that her identity does not rely solely on her romantic entanglements. Her pining for Nick after certain storylines, such as the drama in Nice, reflects the depth of their history, but Sharon herself knows that their greatest bond lies in the family they created, not necessarily in a rekindled marriage. Nick, too, has struggled with the idea of romance with Sharon. He has admitted on multiple occasions that Sharon was his first great love and that she will always hold a special place in his heart. But Nick has also been burned by the cycle of breaking up and reconciling, never finding the stability he yearns for in Sharon. His relationships with Phyllis, Chelsea, and others highlight his desire to move forward, even as he continues to look back at Sharon as the mother of his children and the woman who shares his deepest scars. For Nick, Sharon represents home in many ways, but that home may no longer be a romantic one. Instead, it may be a partnership that transcends romance, defined by loyalty and shared history rather than passion. Their children feel this dynamic most clearly. Faith knows that her parents may not be together in the traditional sense, but she also sees the love they share for her and Cassie's memory. That love provides her with stability, even when her family life seems chaotic. Mariah, though not Nick's biological daughter, has also experienced the unwavering support of both Sharon and Nick, reinforcing the idea that family in Genoa City often extends beyond blood. The bond between Nick and Sharon through their children is not just about parenting, it's about healing, protecting, and honoring the legacy of the family they built together. Still, fans and characters alike cannot ignore the magnetic pull that seems to exist between Nick and Sharon whenever life throws them back into each other's arms. Their conversations are laced with history, their silences charged with unspoken feelings, and their proximity often reignites old flames. The question then becomes, is their bond destined to remain platonic, or will fate eventually steer them back into romance once again? Soap operas thrive on the possibility of change, and The Young and the Restless has never completely closed the door on a Nick and Sharon reunion. Yet the current narrative seems to lean towards celebrating them as co-parents first, with romance as a possibility but not a necessity. That distinction matters because it reflects the evolution of soap storytelling. Where once the endgame was always romance, today's storylines embrace the complexities of relationships that aren't purely romantic. Nick and Sharon may serve as a reminder that love takes many forms, and sometimes the most enduring, reliable love is the one that doesn't need roses and candlelight to thrive. Their story is about growing up together, weathering heartbreak, and still standing strong as partners and family even when their hearts belong to other people. As Genoa City moves forward, Sharon's potential rivalries with new characters like Tamara Braun's fiery addition, and Nick's entanglements with women like Sienna Bacall, will test the boundaries of their bond. Yet history suggests that no matter who enters their lives, Nick and Sharon will always circle back to each other when their children need them most. Their connection may not always translate to romance, but it is unwavering, and in a world where relationships come and go, that kind of permanence is rare. For longtime fans, the debate will rage on. Some will continue to root for a romantic reunion, dreaming of the day Nick and Sharon find their way back to each other once more. Others will celebrate the evolution of their bond into something even stronger, a partnership forged not in passion but in the love of family and the memory of a daughter whose legacy continues to shape their every decision. Either way, Nick and Sharon remain central to the fabric of The Young and the Restless, reminding viewers that love stories come in many forms, and that some bonds, whether romantic or not, truly last a lifetime.